Hey guys, this is Namek here, and today we're going to be doing the third part of What If Goku Became an Android. Please like the video if you haven't already and subscribe. It's totally free and you can unsubscribe whenever you want. There's nothing much else I'd like to say in the intro, so without further ado, let's get into the video.
Slick talker since a jet. Winter time, all the time, ooh, yeah. Look at the way that I move, swag. Disrespectful and I'm rude, okay. I had cocaine in the school.
With Frieza seemingly dead, the Saiyans remaining still need to settle their interfering goals. Goku just flies off with a conflicted mind after everything that's taken place, and Vegeta wants to wish for Nappa to be revived, and now he doesn't even want immortality. They gather the remaining Dragon Balls and Nappa is revived just as Vegeta wanted. Also, they wish for Piccolo to be revived, and back on Earth, Kami along with Mr. Popo and Chaozu decide to revive the remaining warriors after summoning Shenron. They bring Dende to Earth with them, and this pretty much brings the Namek saga to an end. Goku is still in a weird position heading back to Earth. He feels conflicted in his mind and his programming is slowly but steadily breaking down. Gohan, Krillin and Bulma head back to Earth with the use of Frieza's ship. Bulma is very smart and learns how to navigate it on the go. Goku arrives before Vegeta and Nappa do, then races to Gero's lab. He informs him of everything that's happened and he decides that it would be best for him to go. They need to be covert because his master is in danger and Dr. Gero complies. They move all of the things around and enter an underground base they find in some backwater place on Earth. Dr. Gero continues his research but notices something off about Goku. He doesn't follow his orders as readily as he used to and he keeps that in the back of his mind. Vegeta, Nappa and the Earthlings return to Earth and the two Saiyans are annoyed to find that the scientist is nowhere to be found. Returning to the base that they remember vividly, they see that it's been emptied and destroyed. They can't believe it and don't even see Goku anywhere either. Vegeta and Nappa just choose to remain on Earth for the time being, training and also preparing to take out Goku when they find him. Their powers increase quite rapidly and Nappa feels annoyed that he seems to be lagging behind. Even the small Saiyan boy that is Gohan managed to put up a better fight than he did. On top of that, the Saiyans are now Super Saiyans. Vegeta informed him of everything that happened on Namek while he was unconscious. Nappa is more than excited to see Vegeta harnessing the mystical power of legend, but he now wants it for himself too. A year passes and King Cold heads straight for Earth. Gohan's power level is still only at 1 million, but Vegeta and Nappa have been receiving Zenkais and healing as they fought. Vegeta and Nappa's power levels have far surpassed Goku's, who can't train as hard. He doesn't have a strong, durable sparring partner that can really beat him down, and this puts him in quite a vulnerable position. King Cold arrives on Earth and the Z-Fighters sense his evil key. Krillin and Gohan think it's Frieza, but Vegeta and Nappa know that it's King Cold. They arrive at the scene and the former Emperor reveals himself alone. His son has been killed by the likes of Goku and he is here to take revenge. I mean, he doesn't know that, so he just wants to destroy the people he finds here. King Cold, I never thought I'd see you again, Vegeta says, stepping forward. King Cold smirks before cracking his knuckles. I never thought I'd see you again, Vegeta. I'm surprised that you talk to me with such gumption even though you know how strong I am. Don't think I stepped down because of any sort of weakness, he states, before making a battle stand. Vegeta smirks and just walks ahead, unbothered. His power level is unreadable by King Cold Scouter, who just throws the device off because he assumes that it isn't working. To him, it makes no physical sense that someone could just have no battle power, but he is also confused about the metal that is present across his body in various places. Vegeta begins shouting, lifting his power to the very maximum, then finally enters his Super Saiyan state. His transformation destroys the surrounding area and leaves King Cold horrified. The Super Saiyan of legend is true. King Cold just rushes forward, seemingly unbothered by this flashy power-up of his. He punches Vegeta right away and notices that very little happens. Throwing a second punch, his strike is instead caught by the Saiyan. He stops him right in his tracks and just smirks in his face. He then shoots himself forward and punches the mammoth warrior in his gut, punching right through his abdomen entirely. Blood coats his arm, but he doesn't care and viciously rips it back out. King Cold coughs out blood and drops to his hands and knees, but his species are very durable. Frieza did survive being blown up into bits and pieces after Namek's destruction, so a punch through some of his non-vital organs won't kill him. He returns to his feet with his irises gone from pure rage and injury. He runs back toward Vegeta and tries to attack him, but the Saiyan unloads a devastating combination of attacks. He finishes off with a swift and precise series of punches right onto his face that rattle him and knock him out cold. With his unconscious dying body left to rest on the ground, Vegeta just releases a golden ki blast onto him to kill him right there and then. Vegeta just smiles over the remains of his body, knowing that Frieza's bloodline has basically been totally removed. Future Trunks watches on from a distance, taken aback by the situation he's seeing right now. First off, there seems to be no mechanical version of Frieza, and his father has killed King Cold in Super Saiyan. This is not how things went in the past. There is a large burly man stood beside Vegeta that looks like a cross between a human and a beast. He doesn't exactly know what to do, since he also doesn't see Goku anywhere. The only people that he recognizes are Vegeta, Gohan and Krillin, who are all present. All he can do is just land there revealing himself. It also puzzles him that he can't sense his father's ki in any way. It's like he's not even alive, like a reanimated corpse. "Who are you?" Vegeta asks, aiming his hand at him. He hasn't yet reverted to his base form, so Trunks might actually be in trouble here, but he isn't sure. "Don't worry, I'm not of any threat to any of you. I would like to ask you where Goku is," Trunks asks. Nappa then rushes past Vegeta and grabs Trunks by the neck of his shirt, lifting him up with ease. "What, are you with Kakarot?" Nappa asks, before snarling in his face. Trunks is terrified but can sense the key signature coming from Nappa. He's strong but knows that he can handle it. Trunks is smart and knows not to reveal anything to these people. From their appearances and demeanor, they don't seem willing to cooperate. "No, could I just talk to Gohan and Krillin please?" Trunks asks. "He knows our names. Who is this guy?" Krillin asks, as he has dropped. He then talks to the two and explains what happened in his timeline. He talks about the emergence of the two androids and things like that, but they don't really understand what's happened. From what he's saying, their timeline is quite different to Trunks' own, but they take his word for it. If powerful androids are to come, they will need to train in 3 years' time. Krillin wants to pass the news on to the two Saiyans that have stayed put, but Trunks decides to do so himself. He's stronger than both Gohan and Krillin at this point, so aggravating the two could be quite dangerous for both Gohan and Krillin. Vegeta looks on edge, but future Trunks explains his timeline. Goku dies of the heart virus and he has the cure to revive him once that happens. Goku receiving a heart virus, that Saiyan won't be dying to any mere disease, Vegeta states upon hearing his story. Future Trunks reiterates to them that he is no threat to them and suppresses his power level to make them sure of this. They state that powerful androids will be coming in about 3 years' time and the Earthlings are quite concerned about this. They feel the need to train as hard as they can, while Vegeta and Nappa do the same. I mean, they were going to do this anyway and aren't really bothered about these incoming androids. To them, they've already become way stronger than any of those creations that Dr. Gero creates. They might have been results of his experiments, but they've gained power through their own Saiyan blood. They've already added a lot to what's been given to them. Goku in the underground base created by Dr. Gero is starting to distance himself more and more from his master. The memories of his past life are starting to reach the surface once again, and he becomes concerned about following this maniacal scientist's plans. Soon enough, once he is given the pass to leave by Dr. Gero for surveillance and picking up human subjects, he beelines it for the closest key signature that he can find. On a pillar, Piccolo is training with Gohan. They both kick each other's legs before falling back, and Piccolo is faring much worse than the Saiyan. He didn't receive any of the power boosts that Gohan did and is trying his best to catch up. Of course, catching up to a Saiyan in terms of battle power is very difficult if not impossible, but him trying to do this allows him to grow stronger faster. As they train, they become frozen upon feeling Goku's incoming power. Gohan readies himself for battle, but Goku stops himself and places his arms out to show that he is not a threat. "Look, I'm not here to kill any of you," Goku says, making Piccolo immediately hostile. Piccolo doesn't buy a single word he says and just lifts into flight. He throws off his weighted vest and powers up to the maximum before racing toward Goku. He socks the Saiyan and deals significant damage. His base power level is now above Goku's after hard training, since Goku's has remained pretty much the same. The Saiyan tries to control his growing anger after receiving that blow. Dr. Gero literally rewired his character, but his benevolence is starting to slowly but steadily creep up once again. Piccolo then lands a gut punch, then SWAT kicks him downward. Goku just grunts in anger before wiping the blood coming from his mouth. Piccolo intends to rush right in there again, but Gohan stops him. "Wait, he has the Super Saiyan transformation that I do too. He hasn't used it for a reason. If he wanted you dead, you would have been already," Gohan explains. Piccolo just scoffs upon hearing this before crossing his arms and backing up slightly. "I'm here to tell you what Dr. Gero is up to. He is going to create androids stronger than anything he's ever created before, and he's making astounding progress." Just like what Trunks said, Gohan thinks upon hearing this. "We know," Gohan says, making Goku very surprised. "What? How do you know that? That information should be perfectly hidden." "We were told by other sources. Your information has been hidden perfectly, but all you need to know is that we found a way to know," Gohan says. Gohan simply isn't opening up to his father because he doesn't really see him in that way. The only times he's met his father was in the heat of battle, and he won't forget the fact that he literally killed him the first time that he met him. Fine, whatever, I don't care. I physically can't stop him, but you guys can. It will take time before I truly get control of my body again, Goku explains, looking down at his own 2 hands. He doesn't say another word, then flies off, leaving the two to digest the warning he's given. 3 years pass and the time has come. The time of the androids. They're ready for deployment, Dr. Gero explains, as the tables he was working on become vertical. Android 17, who resembles Super Android 17 from GT, is revealed with a similar to canon Android 18 beside him. My 2 masterpieces. These 2 shall aid you in your mission. Acquire Vegeta and Nappa and murder those remaining pests. Of course, Goku falsely replies before leaving with them. He acts as if they're on the same wavelength, but in the back of his mind he has a different motive. He's going to revolt, use the knowledge he's gained from the inside to help. Since Dr. Gero is quite a paranoid, untrusting person, Goku never received information on the serious weaknesses of the androids. However, that doesn't mean he's been totally left out of the loop. As Future Trunks has told them, they arrive at the city of Sasebo to try and find the androids. Initially, they find nothing too suspicious. However, they start to feel the key signatures within the city being depleted. Let's see what's happened here, Gohan says, at the forefront of the group. Beside them, the duo of Nappa and Vegeta eagerly head to the area and are seen in the sky approaching that area too. The key signatures of these androids can't be felt, but they are easily found due to the likes of Goku. His key signature can be sensed by the surrounding fighters. So these are your old friends, Android 17 says, walking up to the Saiyan that stands against him, Gohan. Yes, Goku says, avoiding eye contact with the people that he is secretly trying to help. Right, I'll kill some of them, but I think I'll leave some for you. You should get some revenge on these weaklings, 17 says, before racing toward Gohan. He receives a devastating blow to his stomach that nearly makes him throw up. He falls to his hands and knees, barely able to catch his breath. However, he shouts and enters Super Saiyan before racing back toward the android. Gohan in this series is levels above the likes of Goku now. He then receives a ki blast to the stomach that hurls him right past the remaining Z fighters that stand beside him. He coughs blood upon coming to a stop, and Super Android 17 just laughs before releasing a wave of ki blasts onto the surrounding area. He kills tens of thousands and cackles as he does this. Goku can barely stand to see this, but he doesn't desire to blow his cover now. The Dragon Balls could also revive those people anyway. Once he is done, the dynamic duo land ahead of the Z fighters, Vegeta and Nappa. Vegeta, let me have this guy, Nappa says, looking over the android. As you wish, Vegeta says, stepping back. Back up, weaklings. If you stay too close to Nappa, the collateral damage of his attacks might just take your meaningless lives, Vegeta says back to them, with a smile of pride. Nappa smirks at the 2 androids before beginning a power-up. A green aura envelops his body and his eyes begin to glow yellow. However, something special happens in his power-up. His eyes switch to a blue hue and the aura that surrounds his body becomes a gleaming golden. His fur becomes a slightly lighter brown colour and he gives out a final scream to finalise his power up. Once he is finished, his aura contains somewhat infrequent crackles of lightning, but he isn't using Super Saiyan 2 or 3. He has managed to mix the power that Dr. Gero gave him with Super Saiyan. From the way that Dr. Gero had activated his Uzaru power, he has unlocked a new and unique transformation. He refers to it as Primal Super Saiyan. The multiplier is a grand 1000 times and he has surpassed the likes of Vegeta with the power. The prince does not feel just envy from his power but also pride for a fellow Saiyan to be as strong as he is. Nappa zooms at the android and takes him by surprise with the force of his blow. He knocks him back with a step, then lands a punch to his gut that forces him back slightly. Super Android 17 looks furious upon receiving this punch because it actually wasn't easy to deal with. You pest, the android shouts, shooting a ki blast at him. He follows up with a barrage of blasts, but Nappa is revealed to still be standing, only with bruises that vanish in seconds. He shoots himself at the android and tries to punch him again, but he dodges this time. Evading the incoming blow, the android lands a kick to his abdomen that almost totally shakes him up. The much slimmer android seems to be just as strong as him, but this thrills him. 17 strikes him in the face with a punch, but Nappa just spits out blood and cackles at the android before punching him himself. Their punches destroy the buildings around them, and the other fighters are in awe watching this clash of pure power. Nappa is holding his own and is certainly giving the android a hard time. His adversary is nimbler and can evade his attacks more easily. However, his perfect durability means that if he isn't taken out in one go, his body will heal and become stronger if the injuries are grave enough. The burly Saiyan first attempts to try and hit 17 and the android soars right over his fist to double drop kick him in his face. This launches him down to the ground, but he lands firmly and awaits his adversary's approach. While he remains on the ground, 17 dives down toward him and Nappa just smirks. Golden energy begins being sucked into his mouth blast and causes the ground around him to rumble from his increase in power. Once 17 is close enough, he releases the full power blast and hits him head on. The surrounding fighters look on with surprise as they don't notice any immediate movement from within the cloud of smoke. The android is revealed with bruises and injury, but both of these fighters are not fatigued at all. He just looks on at the Saiyan with surprise. Based on the information handed to him by Dr. Gero, he shouldn't be as strong as he is. You must be wondering how I'm able to beat you to a pulp right now. Us Saiyans are bounded by the experiments of your ignorant inventor. We rise to every occasion and are limitless, Nappa shouts back pridefully. So that will conclude the third part of What If Goku Became an Android. Please tell me something you liked about this video or something that I should improve on for the next one. Thanks so much for watching and I'll see you in the next video.